Let's take a look at Infinity Scalper. And the reason I'm making this video is because someone had asked me about what do you do when you got all the pairs that you can trade up. So in the manual, it talks about 7 pairs. Well, it doesn't talk about it. It just says trade the best 7 pairs. And for the strategy, and you're looking at euro, the Japanese yen, the pound, the euro against the Japanese yen, the pound. Let me just move this over here. So there we go. The pound Swiss, pound yen, and US dollar, Canadian dollar. If you have them all at the same time, how do you not overtrade? That's a really good question because it's so easy, especially on strategies and systems that just plot everything on the chart for you. It can make it really easy to enter trades, but then if you're not tuned into risk management and overall portfolio risk management, then you're looking for trouble. So again, 5-minute charts, right? You can use M1 and M5, and there's different ways you can do it. I've covered in my other video about trading the 1-minute chart in the direction of the 5-minute trend using the setups that come with Infinity Scalper. But let's take a different look. Now, we've all heard of, I'm sure, the 34 EMA, and I was turned on to the 34 EMA probably about a decade ago. There was a trader who has since passed who talked about the 34 EMA and the 50 CCI. But I'm not going to get into that right now. Anyways, his last name was Braun. His name was Mark Braun. Great Fibonacci trader. Anyways, so one way you can do it is put on a 34 EMA or a 50. Like I said, it doesn't matter. I just throwing different ones up. You just pick whatever works for you. And you can see that according to this green line, which is our 34 EMA, prices below it, we're in a downtrend on this time frame. So what you can do is just say to yourself that I'm only going to take trades long. This is a 30-minute chart because I'm using a factor of 5. Okay, so if we're looking at a 5-minute chart, you're looking at a 25-minute trend. So just round to 30-minute. You can also use the 15-minute, so it's a factor of 3. Rule of thumb in trading is 3 to 5. Okay, that's the higher time frame you want to go. So this is all nighttime anyway, so I'm not going to cover it in here. This is the Asian session. You certainly don't want to be scalping during the Asian session. So this is when we get into the London session and we get into New York. This is 6:30, so that's even. Let me just move it over. Let's just start here. I'm going to just cover the U.S. session, but you can see in the London session we had 32 pips to the upside. But again, remember when you're looking at these, you're looking at it on the hard right edge of the chart, right? And you can see that price, what it's doing here. And this is the way you want to backtest anything. It's hard right edge. The only problem with this is sometimes what will happen, depending on what charting platform or indicator you're using, sometimes the bar is already plotted, right? And it's already calculated to the right of this chart. What can sometimes happen is this green line on some charting platforms and with some indicators may already tip to the upside, which is going to do what? It's going to influence you on whether you would take a trade or not. Okay? So just be careful of that. When you are back testing anything and you're using an indicator, just make sure that even though you're at the hard right edge of the chart, that the indicator has not already reacted to price off to the right. Okay? Anyways, and one more thing about trading indicators. When you see price slopping around in a moving average, it's not a market you want to trade. Okay? So stand aside. Wait till it clears out. Best way to do it is just mark off the highs, the lows, let price break through. Okay? That's it. So if I was looking at the pound US, for example, and I'm waiting for a nice strong close below, we are still in this range here. This red candle is no doubt what that means, right? Momentum candle. So I would drop down to my 5-minute chart, and because we just started to go to the upside now at what time is it? 11:30. You're not trading anyways. It's just the first few hours of the session you want to trade. Let's just go to our 5-minute chart. Where are we here? There we are. Okay, so this is actually starting on the 17th, so even better. The problem is we can't get into any trade here on our 5-minute chart. Why? Because we are already to the downside. The good thing is we're not going to be taking any of these trades here to the upside. And it wouldn't matter anyways. It's outside of our trading zone. So on this day, using the 5-minute chart on the pound US dollar, you will not get into any trade on the pound US at all. This is after our time. Okay, and it's going sideways anyways. Are we going to care about that? We will. The higher time frames will generally tell you what's going on in the lower time frames if you just know price action and how the candles form. So all through here, there's no trade. So in our trading session, which would have been probably about 8 o'clock to about 10:30, 11, there's nothing, right? It's not until here, 11:30, there's an upside trade, but we don't take it because we are only looking for down. So even in this morning coming in on the 18th, we're only looking for shorts, right? And this short happens at 7:20. So here we don't take any. There's one here at 10 o'clock. And this is going to be a loser. Okay? This is going to be a losing trade. Let's go back to our 30-minute chart and see what price action is saying. Is this a market? Remember, it's all we can see is right about here. Is this a trending market? Well, what do we know trending markets do? Because we're looking for downside, what do we need to see? We need to see lower highs and lower lows. Well, here's a higher high. We don't want to see that. Higher high than this. Here's a lower low. That's a good news. Here's a lower high. Well, this is still in the context of a downtrend, right? We're still in a downtrend. Just because we had this, it doesn't matter. Because we put in this. And then we got a a higher low. Okay, so when you see this, what is that telling you? It's telling you that the downtrend that we have on our 30-minute chart, right here, is declining, right? We're going to start moving to the upside, perhaps. But what we do know is that at this point in time, our price chart, our chart is telling us that we are no longer making what we need to see for a downtrend. Okay? Let's mark this off here. Let me just get rid of this. There we go. We got this, we got this, we got this, we got this. What is that pattern? Anyone that's traded, they've seen this pattern before, right? Is this a pattern conducive to trading? No, it's not. Okay, you got to watch chart patterns that form like this. There's so many different kinds of chart patterns out there. Just sum it up to a consolidation. With these ones here, what generally happens, and I say generally because it may not, is we'll get price doing what it's doing now and chopping around and through here, and then eventually it gets into this apex here and breaks out. What you don't want to see is this apex and price getting too far into it. You don't want to see that. I would never trade these chart patterns. The price is way too random for me. And one thing, the only rule I would have with trading these, the only rule I do have, not would have, is I will not fade the breakouts of these. For example, I am totally off topic here. If we get a strong, this is going to be a red box, but pen is green. If I get this, I am not going to fade it. Even if I see weakness in here, I'm not going to fade it. Ever. Because what this has is it's a coiling pattern, right? The energy in the market, right? Our buyers and sellers are getting into like a price that's almost even. Well, one's got to give. And you certainly don't want to be trading that. So on our pound US, we don't have any trades. Okay? Let's look at Euro US dollar. Why not? 30-minute chart. Well, you can see right here, we're slopping around the moving average. You got to be careful of that. But what we have all through here is a downtrend. Remember, this is a 30-minute chart. So we have no trades in through here because it's past our time. We come into the 18th, right here. It's a new day. This is Eastern time. We got, oh, nice momentum candle, right? This tells you we are in a downtrend, right? That the downside is a hell of a lot more interesting than the upside. So let's look for down trades until we get this here at 8:30. So you know what? We can't even look for down trades. Well, let's do it for the London session. Let's do that. So let's find 3 o'clock. So from here down, we're going to be looking for longs, and on the U.S. session, because we've got to close above our moving average, we'll look for Sorry, back up. We'll look for short trades and then long trades. Let's see what we got on our 5-minute chart. So London, well, we're already, this short happens at 250, so we're obviously not going to take it because we don't start till 3. Here's our short trade here, and price does plummet for 26 pips. Whether you catch all of it or not, it's entirely up to you. There's different ways you can do price targets. You could just use a set standard 20 pips, which is recommended. But another way you can do it, it's just a Fibonacci. See these targets down here, target 1, target 2. You're looking for like the 1.27. Again, it depends on where you're shorting. If you're shorting in through here, instead of up in this area right here, obviously you're going to have, you want to at least get some decent pips on that. And then you've got, I think this is 1.27. I think this is 1.618. Let's just find out. Target 1 is 27. Yeah, 1.618. So you can do that as well. Okay. And then we don't take the upside trade in 6 o'clock anyways. Remember the first 2 to 3 hours of the session. So we have one winning trade in the London session. Let's check over the U.S. session. U.S. session starts at 8 o'clock. Well, we're already into a down trade here, a down setup starting at 8 o'clock. And we're not in until here. So obviously we've gone 15 minutes already. So skip that. Here's our upside. Let's see what we got. Our upside happens at 8:35. And price has rallied for 16 odd pips here. Okay? Well, you got it to here to about 13 pips. Price pulls back. You probably want to get out when you start seeing this kind of stuff happen, right? When you get this move up and you get these inside candles here, you certainly don't maybe want to hold on to that. Remember, we're scalping, right? We're not trend trading here, so you don't want to be hanging on for too long. And you can also just go to a bigger picture and just look, okay, well, where's the most of the price action happening? We got it here. Here's a break above. So around here is a good idea, right? So you're looking at about 12, 13 pips. Again, you're scalping. I'm not a fan of scalping, but some of you love to scalp, and that's cool. Anyways, let me just wrap this up. So I went totally off topic, but what I want to tell you that if you've got all 7 pairs up, you want to find a way to make it so you're not in and out of every single currency pair you're trading. So look at a 30-minute trend. You can look at a 15-minute trend. Remember we talked about you can actually look at a it's a 3 to 5 rule of thumb. And if you did that, you're probably going to get a few more trades. I'm not going to say a lot more trades. But if we're just looking through here, well, not really. No, it doesn't make a big difference in here, and I'm not going to go through all the charts. But you can do that if you buy the software. So just find different ways. And like I always say, Infinity Scalper is going to give you the entries. Whether you take them or not, it's entirely up to you. People are out there saying you just trade it blindly. Never trade any of these things blindly. You cannot ignore what price is doing. When price is slopping around, you can't trade it. Why trade it? If we are told we can be in a downtrend, but on our trading time frame, we are no longer making lower highs and lower lows, why would you trade it? You wouldn't, right? Same thing. If it says we can go to the upside and we're not making higher highs and higher lows, why would you trade it? You wouldn't, right? Let the pattern, whatever pattern forms, let it resolve itself, and then take your trades when they appear. Anyways, click above, download Infinity Scalper, check it out. If you're a short-term trader and so you want to do, you only have a few hours in the morning to trade, or a few hours in the, well, it depends on where you are, in the Eastern time zone, or 3 o'clock in the morning, if you just got off your shift and you can't go to bed, spark it up for an hour or two and see what comes up. Or just different ways you can do. And if you're looking for more of a swing trading, which is my favorite, swing trading, I love swing trading. Position trading is the best for me, right? Everyone's different. You got Pips Wizard Pro. All right, give it a go. Thanks for watching.